The area before the refinery was built was typical rural village. Farming at that time was the main industry. There were 7 large farms in North Killingholme. Eastfield Road at that time we always called Middlegate. It was a very narrow country lane, and I can remember as a child my grandfather bringing me down here and picking violets in the hedgerows.
On the south bank of the Humber, Total and Belgian company Petrofina found the perfect site to invest in and build a state-of-the-art refining facility. The Killingholme site was chosen for its proximity to the North and the Midlands, which offered potential to benefit from market demand, utilising the growing road and rail networks. The Humber estuary also provided a deep water channel, which was suitable for large ocean-going tankers. Work began on the project in September 1965.
We worked alongside a company known as Lummus, who were the main contractors for the refinery. Now, site for the Lindsey Oil Refinery personnel was 2 cottages in Rosper Road that had been joined together, which was our headquarters. Site was a field of mud. Work had started on earth moving in the previous November, and there were a few tank bases, and that was it.
It was basic. There was hardly any columns or anything on the refinery at all. There were, starting on stage 1. And when I first started, we had a brand new Land Rover, which was used to ferry people around the refinery from the works offices. That's where all the office people were in them days. And the site was very muddy, and we really needed a 4x4 to get around.
And during the very bitter cold nights of January '68, oil came in and processing started.
The refinery officially opened on the 28th of June 1968, and dignitaries from London and further afield arrived at nearby RAF Manby by private flight to celebrate the opening. The Minister for Power cut the ribbon during a lunch ceremony, which was followed by an evening celebration attended by the refinery staff.
And so my colleague and I joined this flight and landed in RAF Manby, and felt very important when we got off it, because there was a guard of honour all lined up as we all came off onto the local coaches, and we were greeted by a very happy bunch of dignitaries who were already here. But we did get a drink, and I can even show you a cork from the opening, and believe you me, it was very, very good quality champagne. So it was a good day, one I'm going to remember for many years.
In 1974, the Health and Safety at Work Act came in, and that had a profound difference to all industry. Up to then, the fire station only had 1 fireman, just 1 fireman. The chief fire officer then, he went and bought 2 redundant fire engines. We painted them all bright red and put a LOR sticker on, and that was our fire engines for 2 or 3 years.
The old control rooms was considered the best of the technology that they had, but it was very, very, when you look at the control systems that we have now, which is mainly computer driven. I mean, we had a computer, we didn't even know what a computer looked like. So it was very, very basic. You just got a set point, and you had an open and shut manual control valve where you inched it over, and then once you got it in line, you then put it on auto, and the actual controller used to take over.
We used to use Olivetti and Monroe calculating machines. It was a question of tapping in 2 + 2 = 4, and it would print out. The company decided they would modernise the accounting system almost pre-computerize it. And so they bought this calculator, an electronic calculator called an Anita, that was its name. It was supposed to do all sorts of wonderful things, but it could do them, but it was very slow, and as I say, it was huge. You needed 2 people nearly to carry it from desk to desk.
I looked after the health and the welfare of all the people that worked at LOR. I loved all my chaps. Those of them that today will remember that if they came in on a Monday and they were had a heavy weekend, you know, we didn't put hungover, we put overtrained, which all sounded a bit better in their medical notes. When I first came here, there wasn't very much equipment in the medical centre, and of course, to do good medicals, you need equipment. So there wasn't an audiometer, a machine to test ears. And up to me coming, the doctor who did the medicals, he used to whisper in the men's ears to see if they were deaf. So he would say, 5, 7. And then when the men came out, the next one in the list said, what's today's numbers? There was nothing wrong with their hearing, but that was the best they could do.
The social aspect of the refinery was excellent in terms of the sporting events and stuff that the company offered. On my second day here, I was approached by a guy called Alistair Morrison, who ran the LOR football team. Within about a month of starting at the refinery, I was off playing in the French Pyrenees football for 5 days, which was an absolute excellent experience.
And a few of us that organised the children's parties, and we had 2. We had a party for the younger ones up to the age of 10, and that was done in a restaurant. We had an intercom, and the children could hear Father Christmas calling up Lindsey Oil Refinery and telling the children that he was on his way. And the fire engine would come round with the lights on and the klaxons going, and children's faces were amazing, really. We had 2 busloads of the older children, and we took them to pantomimes at Nottingham, Leeds, really top-class pantomimes that were put on, and we did the same with them. We fed them, and then they were presented with their Christmas presents.
One of the notable events every year at Lindsey Oil Refinery was the annual dinner and dance, which for many years was held at the Beachcomber at Cleethorpes, where the company provided a wonderful meal, free drinks, some marvellous entertainment, and you could dance the night away, which I always did. And it was a memorable occasion.
I really enjoyed my time at Lindsey Oil Refinery. It's given me a lovely life, and I look back on it with good spirits.
Today, Total Lindsey Oil Refinery incorporates some of the most advanced refining and conversion processes in Europe, processing over 7 million tonnes of crude oil per year. Total is a world-class supplier of quality fuels delivering diesel, petrol, fuel oil, gas oil, kerosene and LPG via our road, rail and pipeline networks. We continue to invest in our asset and adapt to the changing environment to meet the energy demands of today and the future.